Greetings, Raiders. Richelator here with another video on Raid Shadow Legends that I had spoken about in my last video, where I had a video where I had recorded the screen, and it was supposed to record my voice, but it only recorded the screen and the sound of the game. Well, I took that video, and I'm going to try to talk through that video and kind of summarize what was going on there. And the good thing about this is that it may actually come out better. So we'll see. Anyway, this video is going to be about how you can go and obtain the um, work very quickly or toward a clan quest. You do have to be at level 35. See, like the top left of the screen, like the main account, you gotta be level 35 so that you can fight in a classic, tag team arena. And there's a clan quest, elite clan quest, which I think is like the easiest one out of the elites. What you gotta do is look at the time that it renews, and then at that time you might have to set the alarm depending on where you live in the world. But uh, right at that time, right when it renews, you want to grab that clan quest. Okay, here comes the picture of what I was doing. So yeah, this is just explaining the when you're in the clan, and if you haven't obtained the clan with a certain level, you probably need. I don't recall. It might be. I think it's like level 11 at least. You might need to get both these legendaries, but I'm going to like just show you the legendaries here that you can get clan tokens towards, and it is a very yep. So I'm going to talk about Yannicka, I believe, and just showing that she's legendary and she supposedly all pretty good. There's another one, another legendary that's a little bit more tokens. There's like 150 tokens that you can get, but you're limited to 3 quests per clan quest. So if you use 350, you get sorry, three. Sorry, if you can only get 3, so the elite will give you 350 tokens per each clan achievement. So if you complete a quest, you'll get 350 tokens if it's elite. So the max you'll get in a week is 10,050. So you can always get 5 fragments toward Yannicka. It's always 1 fragment. Those are fragments. Those are just, just going to get the legendaries, you might notice, but those are fragments. And I might just demonstrating that. See how you have a level 11. You have to be at level 11 to get those. So it looks like, if I'm looking at that right, or that might just be numbering it. But oh no, level 17. You got to be level 17 to get to a certain point. So that might have been like level 15. But yeah, you got. And I think I demonstrate how you can go into like looking for clans that have availability in them, and you just got to see it, which ones are open, which ones might let you in. You can use filters, but you might be familiar with clans. If you're watching this video, you may already be in the clan that you need to be for this. So yeah, I was gonna demonstrate how you use a filter to obtain the clan, or search for the clans that you were like. This looks like I'm looking for a level 17, and you want to filter it so that there's just the ones that have openings and that are not full, or yeah, they're open and they're not full. So that's what I'm doing right now. And then I do a search. Just looking for other oh yeah, I've increased the clan level to 17. I think I leave everything else just as is. And at some point, I'm going to click search here, I believe. Let's see. There we go. And yeah, see, those are the clans that are available. And this is 29 out of 30. So, but then if you click on them, you can see if you qualify their guidelines. You can probably try to, yeah, if you click join, it's going to tell you if you qualify or not. I don't know if, oh, no, I don't think I click it because I was worried that I would, all of a sudden join a new clan and then lose my achievements to the other clan quests. But I'm going to fast forward here because I think I go on a tangent at this point. This hour video I made was like an hour long, so let me stop here and I'll come back. So here I'm demonstrating when you go into the elite quests, and it's that this to see that 6 day and 22 hours. Just keep an eye on that. On the last day, I might have to set an alarm, but when that time comes to reset the quest, quickly as possible. It depends on the clan you're in, but um, there's only like three elite quests usually that are this easy. One is usually to get the 3 rare shields in campaign. Yeah, that's not the one I was going to talk about here, but there is a way, a good productive way to get 3 of those. But you want to look for, see, I have win 3 rare shields, and this is what you want to look for: the tag team battles that don't say anything about stage 20, and you're increasing, placing 200 debuffs. Anything with placing 200 increased defense, speed, or attack. Um, these are very, very, very achievable for what I'm going to demonstrate and how you set up your tag team teams to do this. You can do this with very low level champions. You don't, as long as you have some strong champions to sort of back them up, you can set up your tag team so it's so you basically kind of, you don't have to think much. You have to think a little bit, kind of like the maneuver your teams, but you have most of the work done if you do this initial setup. So I'm going to demonstrate that. So here we are in arena, tag team arena. In order to do this, you need to click into a battle. I'm just demonstrating here that you can go into the bazaar, and you can also, as you're doing this, you can take fragments toward Dexter Blood Thin Twit. I'm probably not saying that right, but it's another legendary champion. So every 360 bars you get in the arena, tag team arena, you can obtain this legendary eventually. Work toward getting this guy, and he's a very good, great champion. So here I'm just uploading a screenshot of my teams for that I saved off, or my 3 teams I saved off that have increased defense ability. Reason why I do that is every time you get the clan quest, it's usually 2 out of the 3. So these happen to be my increased defense champs, and just so I don't have to kind of search and check Yumalov, who like, oh wait, if I don't remember who has increased defense. This is just a screenshot, so there's something to keep in mind when you're doing that. Maybe before you need to edit your team, you might want to take a screenshot. Might be a good idea to help you for the future there. So what I did here is go into the tag team arena, and you have to click into a battle to set up the teams. And you're going to set up 9 teams here. I will be demonstrating this here. So just before, don't click the bottom right battle, go into team setup. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be removing my increase attack champions and add, actually, sorry, is that correct? Yes, increase attack champions because the two quests I got were the increased speed and increased defense champions. So you could do this any way you want. It's top to bottom, bottom to top. I think I just go bottom to top because I had other teams set up and I didn't only had room in there. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna start doing that. And this is where editing this clip comes in handy because I think I am a little. Oh, actually, oh. Apothecary is a speed champion, so he's gonna stay there. Oh yeah, what I'm doing here is I'm gonna within the three. I'm gonna like try to like distribute the champions into each team so that like the powers kind of even out. So I'm gonna like take my strongest champion and put them. Oh, this is what I'm gonna eventually do is like when you go into your team setup, each team member is going to have a skill. You have to search for the skill, and you can actually default it so that they use that skill right away first. And this is essential for getting the stats, these debuffs used at the maximum that they as to maximize your debuffs every time you go into battle. You're going to, as I demonstrated there, you're going. That's her. That's I believe she has increased attack. So if you were doing a quest that was increased attack, you would set your war maiden to have her to use her increased attack first. Um, and then yeah, when you click in there, if you don't that will explain the skills. If you're not familiar with either the icon or the name, um, definitely good to check those. Let's see if I go to another champion. I'm demonstrating that Valerie already has her skill selected. She was also an increased attack, so I'll be removing War Maiden and Valerie and replacing them with increased defense champions and do the same exact thing. Default their skill. When you do this, make sure you do when you do edit all four of these, click the save on the right, and then try to select the order that you would like initially because to swap out the order, I think it kind of throws off all the team setup when you do it. It's kind of clunky, but um, in the long run, this is very good for your tag team, as I will demonstrate later in battles. Or I demonstrate how they use the debuffs, and I'll show you how many they get right in the quest. So I think I do this, and it's is a bit of overkill, as you might see here, but I will be back and to narrow this down. So here we go. We have our increased defense champions on my screenshot here. So I'm going to start going through and removing the increased attack champions and replacing them with the increased defense champions. And I'm also going to try to kind of rotate when I add them. I'll add the first strongest to one team, the second strongest to the second team, the third strongest to the third team, then go back up to the top team and just do it in that order. There's already increased speed that I'm just going to leave in there. And that's how I go about that. So here I remove War Maiden, and I'm going to replace her with an increased defense champion, my strongest increased defense champion. I'm searching. Eventually I find, I think that's Bogwalker, but he and another lizard one's an attack, one's a defense, but they both have an increased defense champ that they can chant. So I think I'm gonna go do the same thing and take out my increased attack. I might take a War Priest and replace War Priest. Oh, is that what I'm doing? Should be what I'm doing. Eventually. Yep, there she goes. She comes out. And there's going to be another increased defense champion that's going to go in there. So checking my screenshot. And searching through. I may eventually try to like filter it by faction. But whatever way you like, best way you know how to kind of search for your champions is what you'd want to do there. But yeah, see, I just added a Dashi, great increased defense champion. But again, they don't have to be good. Great champions. They doesn't have to be like a 70%. It can be any percent. A debuff counts as a debuff. So whether it's 30%, 40%, 0%, well, it had to be like at least 1%, I guess. But yeah, any percentage is going to count as one. If they chain it multiple, though, that's stronger because then if they chain it on like more than one champion, that counts as like 4. I would say if chain it on all 4 champions, that gives you 4 of them right there. So, yeah, another great increased defense champion. That's from Demon Spawn. Don't recall the champion's name, but there's an epic that I got recently. Great addition. So I'm gonna just continue to do this basically, and then once I get this done, I'm gonna go in. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create 3 3 teams like I'm doing, all with just team champions with those debuffs. Then above that, 3 more. This is like my low group. My medium group above that is gonna have 3 of my strongest champions as like the leader, and then followed by 3 champions with the debuffs that I need. That's my medium group. Then above that, 3 more groups, and in each of these teams is going to be 3 strong champions, regardless of the debuffs. And actually, what you gotta make sure you do is make sure you don't use the same champions that have the debuffs as your strong champions. You gotta have them differentiated. So then when you want to swap teams, you're not overlapping the champions. So basically, you just want to avoid, make sure you have different champions for your strong. When you go for the strong champions, don't make sure they're not the debuff champions. But in the 3 strongest teams, you're going to have 3 debuff champions. With 1 in the back, I guess it would be the strongest of your debuff, so that because these are teams that are going to fight like the absolute strongest that you might be able to fight. And you can look at their like team power of the other team. Don't be deceived by that, because sometimes they can be way below you and they can still blow you away. I'd be wary of the teams that have like all level 60s, just 1 level 60 in there. You can still take them out, but I always go for my high power teams on single level 60s because they have 1 crusher in there, just nukes your whole team usually. It seems to always be the case. All right, just look at the team pop. If you see like a kill, it's like 25k. He's gonna blow everybody away. Even if you have like a team that's like 70k, it's nuts. But that's just how that works. So yeah, I remember when I was doing this, I kind of clock a while trying to, but it looks like I started adding the other champions in there. And I'm going to eventually start editing them, so I'll kind of talk through when I edit them. At this point, I think I can. I probably see I'm starting to scroll up and showing you. I'm going to put the like team 10, 11, and 12 are going to be the medium team, and I'm showing you that I have like a strong champion. It looks like Source is in. Septimus is the leader of 10. The strong champion in 10. Source is in team 11. I don't have him in the front because he doesn't have an aura. And then Kale is the strong champion of that 12 team. The rest of them are all debuff champions. Then if I go up, I might be showing you that there is more there. Like if, yep, keep going up. It looks like there, I'm showing you that I got like 3 strong. And see, I try to like to make the team powers somewhat in sync with each other. I did a pretty good job there of keeping them all like within a good range there. So yeah, like I got 3. It looks like High Katoon's a speed champion with Kale, Painkeeper, and Cold Heart. That's in team 10 or team 9, sorry, and team 8. And then the way to sort of like when you're picking your teams, if you do it this way, lucky 7 starts to the top. If you're trying to count down from where are my strong champions? It's the 7. It's lucky 7. Go down 7, 8, 9, and then 10, 11, 12, and then 13, 14, 15 for your low guys. That's just the way I do it. You can do it any way you want, but I think I'm going to be going and edit these soon. I demonstrate how I edit and add the debuffs, the initial debuffs, because you got to edit all your debuff. You want to edit all these teams to add. Make sure that your debuff champions are going to use their debuff right off the bat, right first. You want them to do that debuff, and you're going to see when I demonstrate the battles that what that does. So here I'm going to edit and make sure all my defense champions have their defense skill defaulted as their initial attack. So there's increased defense there for Adachi. So I go and I click and I say that, and I say click opener. And I go to Flailer, who was in my other video with the Faction Wars Dwarfs. And I think I had mentioned that in the video that he is it's rare to have an uncommon. There's not many uncommons with increased defense. So for this particular thing, where you're gonna try to do this thing for your clan quest, these increased defense uncommons are actually very handy because you can get them easily and then throw them in the teams. So I'm gonna choose the next team. Do the same thing, Bog Walker. Where's his increased defense? There it is, his second one. So I use that as his opener. And then Broadmaw is speed. He might, looks like I had to re-add his increased speed. So there it is. So remember, I just happen to have my champions already set up for increased speed, but your other debuff, whether it's increased speed, increased attack, whichever one it is, you want to do the same thing for any champion that's going to use that. You want to make sure they use it as their opener, like I'm doing here. Executioner's opener. Wind Talker is another good uncommon that you look out for increased defense for this particular thing. I know they're all rated low on all the websites, but they do come in handy for this thing here because their debuffer does not have to be strong. There's his opener, and I save. So there's the 3 teams, and then I think I go into the other teams. I don't know if I talk about this or I show this, but you'd want to go into your medium team and do the 3, and then your hard teams and do the 1. Change the 1 to use that as their opener. Okay, so here I'm just showing you that in the elite clan quests, I see I have 0 out of the 200 debuffs chanted so far, and 0 of the 200 for both increased speed and increased defense. Now that's going to change when I go into this battle, and we'll see how many, just in one tag team battle, what happens here. So, as I remember, that was just to go over, yep, that side. And then I go to tag team arena. I'm going to choose, I believe, I'm going to look for a, this is like ideal right here. 3-week setups. Somebody has it maybe so that they can lower their level for whatever reason, or there's a reason to do that for tournaments. But so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna pick my 3 weakest groups. That means they're gonna chant the most debuffs. They're all gonna just do their openers as debuffs. So I'm gonna go into here and you'll see what happens. So, I'm talking about over on the left side. You use those arrows to change position your teams to be more even with the power of the other teams. In this case, the enemies, your opponent is all the same power levels for each team. So we're gonna go in here, and here we go. So we got our first team. There is an bunch of increased speed. There's an increased defense. Increased speed again. That was an increased defense. And then an attack comes in, and of course we're just gonna take him out. With that one attack, they're way stronger than this guy. The same thing happened there. Increased speed. All kinds of increased defense. Increased defense. Look at bam, bam. Look at all those. And he's out. He's taken out. So that also gives you 18 gold bars toward Drexstar Bloodthin in the Bazaar. In addition to going the clan quest legendaries, you're going to also, at the same time, work towards a tag team arena champion. So then I'm demonstrating when I get, look at this, 13 increased defense and 8 increased speed. So not bad for just one, but this is a whole week. So you do this all like refresh your look for the teams that you can fight. Make sure you pick your medium. And sometimes I swap 2 hard and 1 medium. I think I demonstrate that in one of these. The next battle, I think I lose, so I might not show that one just because I lose it. But it's the same idea. It's just that this team was a little bit too strong, but we'll skip that one. So yes, just edited out that battle that I was defeated in. On the bright side, still get 6 gold bars toward Drexstar Bloodthin in the Bazaar. That's one thing to keep in mind. You will not get awarded any debuffs if you end up losing 2 out of the 3. So if you lose 2 out of 3 or all 3, if you lose, basically take team battle. So this is another battle I'm going to choose. And I'm going to be a little bit more strategic here. There are 2 epics and 1 rare. So I think I'm gonna go play. I think it looks like I'm gonna do 2. I'm gonna pick 2 hards and 1 medium. Let's see how I do it. I'm gonna go over to. I'm thinking it out here. Try to think out. Okay, this. I think the one in the middle is probably hard level. The one on top, she can be tough too. She's a healer, support character. So let's see what I do. I'll go. These are my 3 strongest teams. So I'm gonna take a. Looks like I'm going. I think I change. So I'm gonna do. Yeah, I do 2 hard and 1 medium. Yep. So I believe. So I'm gonna use those arrows on the right to align them with who they're supposed to be with, or they might already be lined up correctly. It looks like they are. The 44 is the weakest, and the 13K is, yep, so that's what I did. You can use those arrows, and they're very useful to use those arrows, so you don't have to, like, you don't want to drag, you'll ruin your team. And there we go, in this case, they're going to be chanting just one debuff that actually, what do we have? There, yeah, so Apothecary's chanting speed for this one. Lyra's in there, she's doing all kinds of increased turn meter, and there's a lot of increased speed going on there. Septimus, which is hard hit. Umbral, Unconscious, there we got, he's going to increase defense right there. Septimus again, but yeah, this guy was put up a pretty good fight there. Third round, this kid's gonna chance at least 3, so you're getting all the debuffs on this battle right here, because that's the one where we have 3 debuffs and 1 strong chance to kill. See, so we're getting a couple of wins before you kill off the champion. That's kind of like what you're trying to do, get the most in as you can without getting killed, without killing the opponent too early. That's kind of the game there. So, and then I'm just demonstrating I got a Bazaar, and I was like, yep. So there it is. That is it. I think basically that's, and I'm showing you, okay, how many, so now I got 22 increased defense. I got a bunch, and 20 increased speed, and that was just with 3 battles. So not, I mean, with, well, 3 and 1 where I lost, but only wins are going to give you the debuffs. You have to win the battles. So I think that is it. And as always, hail to the summoner Rochelator. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.